Mary.
I brought you back everything you gave me.
Okay.
I put it on your desk.
Okay.
I don't wanna get in trouble.
3 years to take.
Yeah, I know. Just want you to brought it all back.
Okay.
How is everybody?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm a widow.
You're what?
I'm a widow. My husband
You
left for a
smiling
week.
about that or what?
Yeah, I was kinda thinking, like, I was contemplating if she killed it or not.
He went to Florida for a week, came back and he left today for ice fishing for a week. I'm like, okay. well,
Where is the
well.
ice fishing?
He's way up there in
Robintown?
Upper Lake at Robinwood.
Wow.
Is he up there?
Oh, he loves it up there.
Supposed
He's
to go up to 40 up there this week.
Yeah, I know.
Be careful.
I got lots of life insurance, I tell him all the time.
They have like 6 there.
Yeah.
If they have 6 inches of ice,
Yeah.
he's,
So even if it gets up to 40, you're gonna lose like an inch. You have to-
Okay. I've got 6 o'clock, we will call to order the ARPA funds workshop. This is what we're calling it. First meeting. Let's do the pledge. Oh wait, I'm sorry, roll call.
Councilmember Curcio,
here.
Councilmember Prosser, present. Councilmember Spurino,
Here.
Councilmember Wilbur,
Here.
Supervisor Barney.
Here, do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we didn't want to re-advertise, but we got a situation tonight that's kind of unusual. Our Tracy is not gonna be here for a bit. We have some town business to take care of, and I would like to do that first. Get that out of the way and give her the opportunity. Her hours were changed down at the town of Scriba, so she's not gonna be getting out 6:30.
Right, I thought it was 6, but it's 6.
I know, I did too, I thought it was 6 also. But we have to, she's not here, is she?
She's in the courtroom.
No, Rebecca,
No,
she's not coming tonight.
no.
So we have to go into executive session with, we're going to first need a motion to go into executive session. We can do that first, and with that motion, I'm going to recommend that we invite Chrissy Mitchelson, our court clerk, in with us for a portion of the executive session.
Why are we going into executive?
To talk about a personnel matter that directly involves her.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
Curcio,
it. Aye.
Prosser,
Aye.
Spurino,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Barney.
Aye. Go get her. I got another email today from the Treasury Department that expands upon
And they had to get
all of
permission
this.
from her to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Can I sit over here?
You
Oh,
should.
yeah.
I have something to write. Oh, I guess we should make a motion to come out.
Yeah.
You do.
I'll make a motion that we come out of executive session.
I'll second.
Curcio,
Yes.
Prosser,
Aye.
Spurino,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Barney.
Aye. No decision was made in executive session. So we will, at this time, resume with our ARPA workshop. We have Tracy with us. So I got another email today.
Yes, and
So-
that has to do with the 3 expanded uses you can use the money for, which,
And the updated definition of the word obligation.
yeah.
So I'll explain this real quick. I learned a lot this weekend. I read through some of this, not all of it. Some of it's redundant. Some of it has terms that I didn't think made much sense, but I think it was by design. There's a couple things to be noted. this money cannot just be earmarked by the end of this year. It has to be what's called obligated, meaning under contract. I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna go through this, just so there's no question about, because I know a lot of people, are of the belief that the money has to be earmarked by the end of this year. The city councils and town boards have to vote what they're gonna spend it on, and then that's it, they have 2 years to spend it. It's not the case. We have to be under contract, and it's gotta be a contract that you can't back out of. So, I'll read this, amendment to the definition of obligation, AT 31 CFR 35.3. Under the revised definition of obligation, the term continues to mean an order placed for property and services and entry into contracts, subawards, and similar transactions that require payment. Under the obligation IFR, a recipient is also considered to have incurred an obligation by December 31st, 2024. With respect to a requirement under federal law or regulation or a provision of the SLFRF award terms and conditions to which the recipient becomes subject as a result of receiving or expending the SLFRF funds. So basically what that says is we have to be engaged in a contract, obligated, that we cannot back out of by the end of this year. The funds actually have to be transferred by the end of 26, which
Yes.
now, I don't know where, but over in here somewhere, it goes on to tell if you don't comply with if you don't comply with the terms within the described timeline, you have to return the money.
I believe I read that somewhere.
Just seen that this weekend.
But I think you can keep the interest you gained. I did read that too.
What we gained so far, $10?
It's about $1,000.
Or was it 1,000?
Yeah, it's about 1,000, yeah.
So,
It was in there.
I guess the best thing that we can do is get educated in the process.
Yep.
And then I think the next thing that we have to do is come up with options. There's a list of options a mile long. It could be everything from snow removal equipment, future flood, anticipated flood damage, and it goes on.
Where is that information? Is that in one of these
It's in
things? Okay.
I tell you, I read so much this weekend, I don't even know.
Which one is it in, or is it got
Right,
both?
yeah.
This one.
It's in the big one?
Let me see
Okay.
if I can find that. Compliance, wait, reference.
Oh, here it is, expenditure category. Look at that.
That's in the old one.
Oh,
This is an email I got from the Treasury today, this afternoon,
okay,
which has got some other updated stuff.
okay. Is there 100 pages in that too? Can I
Yeah.
get it
There's
printed
more
out?
than that. There's
Oh
hundreds of pages. We're obviously not gonna try to go through all of it.
No,
We need to get as educated as we can in a short period of time on what it can be spent for and what it can't be spent for. And then, you know,
The
come
two
up.
things that I came across that it cannot be spent on is for debt
right,
Right,
or offsetting your taxes for your
right.
budget.
right. Yeah.
So far, those are the two things that I come across. I'll be honest, I think 117 pages. Offsetting your taxes.
And there's only 240, 250 pages.
Between the two of them.
so the things that they've updated, like, if we read through this original one here that you gave us, then if we find something that, okay, hey, here's something we think we wanna spend it on, what your new one might say would be like, oh, that's not a thing anymore, or,
Well, they've changed it,
just
what,
added
3
to it.
times? They've updated
Yeah.
it 3
Yeah.
times.
I know, cause
So-
I read the first one.
Yeah, we don't wanna be looking through the first one anymore.
Right,
Cluttering our mind with any of that stuff.
right.
So are these the most updated ones?
The one that Jen printed, that one, this one right here.
Which one, show me again.
That's great, big one.
Okay.
And then I got the,
What's the date up in the bottom corner?
January 1st, 2024.
I know.
It's a, now, I would be interested to know, not that it matters, but
You have a state.
what would it be that if you already
No, I know, I
spent
have
money
lots
on
of them.
something and
Yeah.
then they change their mind down the road? You know what I mean?
Joe, there'll
Because I
be
know
a
they've
quiz
done it.
next Tuesday.
I think they've already spent.
I wasn't very good with tests.
Yeah.
So if something that's gonna allow it, they probably don't
And then I make
take that
copies.
money back.
No.
I would have front back, so it wouldn't have.
But I'm just saying that they've changed it so many times that
Yeah.
you were in the middle of something.
I think the biggest change between the first and second one was, the changing of being able to use it as a bulk category under loss of revenue. Before, you had to do all these calculations and find out if you fell into that category. If we receive less than $10 million, we can use that as a category in our reporting. And then from there, you designate what you're gonna use it for. It has to be a government service. There's some generic listings they have regarding that. Provisions of government services, I think is what they are calling it.
So like, could our New Haven cleanup day be used for that?
They don't recommend using it towards something that is a reoccurring thing, like,
Okay,
or that's gonna need maintenance down the road, because you're building a new building and, you know, you have to man it with people to run it or something crazy like that. They don't want you to use it for that.
So we
Makes
did-
sense, because then it'll come out of
From
our
what I
budget.
saw.
we did file the paperwork, right, last year for the.
Yes, we filed under the loss of revenue.
Loss of
That,
revenue.
and Dave Turner actually recommended that
Yep.
over when I talked to him before.
I talked to Dave the other day, I
Easiest thing
talked
to
to, Tim Stahl last Thursday for a while, and then he had me call Dave Turner, I talked to Dave for probably half an hour on the phone. He was explaining that it's very difficult to
what
understand.
about, do we know, can we survey other towns to see what they've done, or have they done anything, or is everybody waiting also?
Everybody's waiting.
Nobody knows what.
I heard something.
That's
like
true.
that in some- One of the towns up
Probably just
north.
gonna get all the money taken away.
Well, everybody's in the same boat.
They give gift
Well, I'm
cards,
going.
they give gift cards to local businesses. One of those up north towns did that, I read. Was it
Richmond?
Harrisville or one of those
What they
places?
do?
They gave every, townsperson a gift card to
So-
spend in a
Oh,
local.
resident.
One of the things that I looked at, one of the itemized, there was, so low was cash payouts were one of the options to low income families. So if you had some families that had suffered during COVID, there was actual, I was shocked that was an actual option, but
Yeah, 'cause
people that actually suffered from,
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
And then, it was a list of categories, mile long. So I was just looking.
No, you could line it up and give it to everybody as like a rebate and. Kinda like you do the rebate kind of thing, because I wasn't gonna be able to afford groceries for the rest of the month. Yeah,
Oh, crap.
I get that a lot.
I got my check in my truck for you.
Oh.
From Texas.
Okay.
Told me forget to get that for
Okay.
Well, a lot of the, we don't have a lot of local businesses
Right.
that
No.
suffer. And that's what I think some of the towns that I had heard had done that, to help the local business.
Well, some cities
So-
use their money and gave it to support their local nonprofits.
Right,
They got certain amounts.
and they also, supported business with business grants.
Right.
I know Oswego did
Yes,
a lot of
that's
that,
what they did
downtown
too, yeah.
business grants.
Cause Victory got ARPA funds from that for their.
Right. But unfortunately, we don't have a lot of small businesses, well, we have city.
And me.
And you. I mean,
Man cave, yeah.
Azzy's is gone.
Yeah, Man Cave, me, New Haven, Building Supply, I mean. those
Couple
are-
of hairdressers, that
Pam and
hairdressers
Dorothy's.
lost, they were
Yeah.
closed for a long time.
Hmm.
They couldn't do hair.
Sure,
You know what, all right. My hairdresser hairdresser didn't do hair.
No.
No, no.
Neither did mine.
Mm-mm.
Well, one way or another, a lot of people, wound up short, one
Yeah.
way or the other.
Yeah.
We got busier. It was stupid.
I guess we should probably come up with some options of what, we wanna
You
do.
like a parking
How
lot.
about a baseball park?
I thought about getting the community involved, maybe somehow through our Facebook page, put it out there, see if anybody in the community had ideas on what they'd like to see. This money that we received is supposed to be for the whole town.
Right,
There might be somebody out there that's got some great ideas, things that we're overlooking. They did talk about snow removal. We could use the money to purchase a truck that we've ordered. I don't know if we can or not. If we've already ordered it, Tracy, was there anything in there about that? If we've already, if we've already got funds obligated.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a normal budget item.
right.
It does say snow removal in there, it talks about it. Talks about like
Yeah, it says
erosion.
purchasing equipment and supplies for local
Right.
government operations.
Right.
Renovating buildings and facilities, these are just little things underneath the loss of revenue category that you can use
So
the money
anything that
for.
we would have to purchase.
One thing I thought of was a sign for out front.
Yeah,
Was,
Good.
I would love for us to have a better sign out front, because half the time people can't find
Right.
the
Yeah,
building.
that's a good idea.
advertise when our board meetings are,
I
when.
know,
Yep.
I know what the fire department paid for that one.
Yeah, they're
Dave.
30,000.
Yeah, Dave told me it was.
Our church
Chunk of
has
money.
bought one.
So, this is the starting point, we have to come up with some ideas, I guess.
I like the
Well,
sign idea.
We don't have a lot of time.
Townwide yard sale, clean up the Haven Day, all public hearings.
So nobody wants a baseball park?
Sign.
Yeah,
I'd like one.
I like the idea of the sign.
I like the
On
idea
board
of
baseball.
yeah,
baseball.
yeah, put a building up out here was
Is
talking.
I
that
do.
enough money though? Do we have land for a baseball park?
We'd have to look into it.
How-
But think about it, the kids in Mexico, it's a small community, where do they go? They gotta go to
No, I
Mexico.
agree.
They've always gone to
You
Mexico.
know what I mean, that's the only place to go, you gotta go to Mexico.
Well,
Right.
it's real.
So if you're a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid that wants to play backyard baseball or football, where are you gonna do it? You gonna find your buddy's house that has more land, or you gonna go to a park right in New Haven?
You gotta look at for the whole community though.
Sure, well, kids are.
Well, that would be,
part
for
of
the
community.
kids are part of the
They,
community.
they are, yeah, not saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it would
yeah.
be for the whole community. And it would keep kids out of trouble, I feel like.
Does the school have area back there to be a park?
And
No.
there's insurances and stuff you have to.
Yeah.
They used to play there all the time. They
Yeah,
used to
they
have
did.
Little League there all
Yeah,
the time.
what
I don't know
happened?
what happened. I don't.
The
they
insurance.
stopped, yeah.
Well, same thing happened, that happened to,
I know.
Jim Searles used to do
adult
recreation.
softball, okay? It's no more because people just don't
But
do
at the
it.
school, they used to have recreation years ago. There
Yeah,
was
he was in charge of recreation years ago.
Yeah, my sister
So why
did
not,
it.
why not talk to the school about partnering with them and helping to fund the recreation program for the summer for the kids?
Oh, that's an idea.
Why wouldn't
One of
we
the
do
things,
that?
one of the things, I was gonna meet, I wanted to wait till we at least met here once. One of the ideas that I had in the very beginning, and it was sparked by a school shooting. I thought maybe give a small portion of it, maybe $5,000 or $10,000 to the school. I was gonna talk with the principal over there, what is it, Granholm?
Yeah.
Mrs. Granholm, about doing some security upgrades to the entrances, like grid bars and stuff like that. I thought about that after I think it was the Nashville school shooter, the transgender one there that shot out the glass and then just kinda ducked under it and went on in. It was one of my ideas early on. But, we should probably come up with some ideas and options and, you know, one of the.
Jen, are you writing anything down that you said?
Yeah.
One of the options
And
would,
it's being recorded, so I
Okay.
can refer back to
one of
it.
the options would be to spend all of it on one large thing, or break it down and, you know, purchase.
Well, what about the Legion too? I mean, that's. a
The
fun
Legion was
community.
one of the things that we originally talked about.
Yeah, I
you know.
still like the idea of the Legion having
So,
a community building.
Yep.
We still have to think long-term with Michael coming. What do we have that's gonna attract people to our community?
One of the other things is, and I don't even know if it would be appropriate to spend this money on it, but a water source for our town, obtaining a piece of property where there's water. So it'd
Why
be a
not?
big thing, because I think we would do better going after grant money for that.
I saw that grant in the email, right?
Yep.
That might require a grant writer and I have one.
Yeah.
Not me, that's a big grant,
But
but
there's,
I can help.
We do need to find out where water is going, okay, because we know there's water concern. Okay, and we need to find out.
the one thing I was told wasn't gonna happen, happened. Got a letter here from town scribe. I don't wanna get off the rails from what we're talking about here, but as long as you're bringing it up. Dear Mr. Barney, per Scriba Town Board approval, a water rate increase was approved for the town of Scriba, New Haven, and Volley. New rates became effective January 1, 2024, and will be as follows. And it lists them. We'll have Jen make some copies of this. We never got this till, was it last week? It's dated the 18th, we get it last Monday, something like that,
It was probably when they had their last meeting.
so. At any rate, that's going on. But yeah, water, our town is gonna continue to grow and we're gonna need a water source down the road at some point. I would think the sooner we start looking at that. There's a lot of uncertainty with the town of Scriba right now and their water issues with the city of Oswego.
Jen, does the building here need anything for improvement? It would enhance our meetings or services to the public?
We talked about putting a building up outside that could be used for cold storage for equipment and also events, an event center.
Furniture? Technology? I still would like cameras in here that, record sound and picture to the, rest of the auditorium.
I think if, you know, I think that's an excellent idea, and particularly based upon some of the other things that have been discussed tonight. Okay, might be a necessity.
I know we talked before there a few years ago when I was trying to push the justice court grants. Some of that stuff falls under security, and because we're housed in the same building, some of that stuff can be paid for through
And
the
that
justice
grant?
court grants.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that we got somebody that's got their act together back there, we'll start getting that applied for every year, going after some.
So is there any building needs, like I know we have defibrillators, are there any updates of anything we don't know about, or have you thought about?
His storage dome over there, I feel like a few years ago, they talked about how long that,
There's some issues with that.
yeah,
Was this-
wasn't there
With the what?
discussions?
What was
Several
wrong with
years
it?
ago.
The salt
I
building.
don't remember what the
Wow.
discussion, I just
Wow.
know it was discussed, like they're
Yeah.
like, sooner or later, we're gonna have to do something with that,
Right.
but I couldn't remember what, if it was the roof
It
or
was
the
the roof.
sides.
Yeah, there was the roof, there was a,
A leak?
no, there was an engineer who said it wasn't safe.
Oh,
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was years ago.
It's still up.
It is, so they don't, there's something they do to.
has it been
We're trying to
inspected?
get more money out of it.
Right,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly what the judge said.
that's basically what it was.
So what, the building's fine?
Bob says it is.
Has an engineer looked at it?
Yeah, that was the issue.
Oh,
Yeah, they wanted more money out of it.
did you get a second opinion?
I'll go give you one in the morning.
I don't remember if he did. Bob said, not to worry.
Okay.
So, we get some,
That might be something.
material to go over. We can meet as often as you guys want.
Oh, let's do it every week.
Yeah, we're gonna be needing
I
something.
mean, here we are in the calendar year that we have to have this
Yeah,
going by, and
yeah.
I'm getting an email today with new definitions and stuff, so.
Right, depending upon what we decide to do with the money, okay, there has to be a, proposal put out, and it has to be, complete, and it has to have the right words in it. Okay, you just can't say, oh, we're gonna build a garage,
Oh,
have a nice day.
Yeah. And you
No.
still have to follow your procurement
Well, yeah.
policy on everything too.
Yeah.
right.
The other problem is too, by the time we do come up with ideas and things we wanna spend the money on, it's probably gonna freaking change again.
Well, probably the only way that we're gonna be able to survive that, which you're right, okay, is we're just gonna have to keep good records,
Yeah.
okay, so we can go back and find out how we spelled mother on page 292.
So we have to obligate the funds by the end of the year.
Yes.
And we don't have to spend, like, what if we
We don't.
spend, say, 40,000 and we don't spend the rest of it? The rest of it goes back, but we're still able to spend the 40,000, right?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like we locked it in,
Okay, so,
Yeah.
then we have it, essentially. And it doesn't have to be spent until what, 2026?
No, but it's gotta be obligated.
But it's gotta be obligated by the.
It's gotta be locked in.
So we have to have the contract,
So
what we're
project
gonna
could be-
spend.
Might as well be
Project
spent by the end of
when
this
we
year.
do.
Yeah, no kidding,
Right.
just do it and get it done.
but you gotta go out to bid for
The-
bids.
the actual-
Absolutely, yeah.
The actual transfer of funds has to be done by 26.
Right.
You have a standard period of advertisement that you have to do. You know, you can't put it out on Tuesday and say, have your bid back by Friday.
Right.
That's not how it works,
No,
so.
no, I do a lot of bids for a lot of different towns.
Oh, yeah,
It's a process.
it is.
Well, looks like we got some homework to do.
But because we are a municipality, if someone partners with us to do, let's say, like LED lights, right? Do we have to require prevailing wage if they're saying they don't require prevailing wage?
Yes.
Does anyone
Yes.
know the answer?
Yes,
Absolutely.
you absolutely have to.
Okay, because
Every
they're
time.
asking, okay,
So
He's
when I
like-
would bid a job for Mexico, I can tell you all day long and be in Mexico that I don't have to pay prevailing wage. I'm wrong.
okay.
Because they will send over Department of Labor.
Yeah.
And not only that, they have to supply certified payroll.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
It
that
has to be
says
certified
they
payroll.
paid umpty squat an hour.
Okay,
it has to be.
How high is prevailing wage now, John?
It depends. What are you
Depends
working,
on what you're
electrical,
doing.
roofing, what are you doing? Cause I know when we were building the Jesus, the dugouts over there in Mexico Park, I had prevailing wage for my labor alone was $28 an hour. My carpenter was 48, no, 38, I'm sorry. In the case of cottage roof, I had to pay every one of those guys $38 an hour for
And
roofing.
then if you have pipe fitters or big,
Yeah.
yeah,
And they don't even have to be union guys, but you still gotta pay them that wage.
Right.
right.
So.
Then you get those high price OEs.
Yeah, them guys. How often do you guys wanna meet with this, workshop?
Well, I think we have to set a target that we want to have whatever we think we're gonna do with the money. I think we have to have it by the 1st of June.
So what about basically right now, we're meeting every 2 weeks.
Because it's gonna take, let's say an engineer is gonna put this proposal together. It's gonna take him 6 weeks. Okay, that puts you in the middle of July. By the time you get it approved and put it out to bid, you got what, 45 days? Okay, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, okay, to figure out you're in October now.
Well, that's the thing.
What's Scribe do? Can they spend it?
Replacing the water tower on 104.
Oh, really?
I scrub them.
So why the heck are they raising the
Problems and
prices?
leaks.
Cause
What's
they're
that?
replacing the water tower.
Well, they use ARPA funds.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna cost more than that.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest will come from it.
So, do you guys wanna meet every 2 weeks like we basically just did?
well, we have a board meeting in 2 weeks.
Well, that's what I'm
so-
saying, so we could,
I mean, that means we wouldn't be meeting again until March. What about,
There's no reason why we can't discuss this during a board
that's what I
meeting.
was just,
Right,
that's what I was
we
We
getting
can do
at.
both, we
Yeah.
can have this
That's
on the
exactly,
agenda
yeah,
to talk, I would say, well, no?
Just have
I
it as a
would,
workshop
absolutely.
or whatever.
that's what I was getting at.
Um,
I Every 2 weeks.
No
we do
sense
it
in
on
having
a
a
scheduled
secret.
board meeting, and then we do it 2 weeks later. We just keep doing it until we come up with a solution. An answer.
So we'll have it on the board meeting for the 20th, and it's part of the agenda,
Yeah, and then 2 weeks after that, we meet again.
which would be March 5th.
There you go.
And in the meantime, we look through this and we come up with some ideas.
Sure.
Yes, and I will say this now, there might be a Tuesday that I will not be here, cause I also have meetings on Tuesdays, depending on where it lands in the month. I'll let you
When your
know.
board meetings are.
There might be a couple
Six.
Tuesdays that I won't be around here soon, because we're getting ready to go into the outage, so
Right.
we're gonna be busy for the next.
Okay.
I
Month,
can be
month
here,
and a
but
half.
I'll be late.
You'll be like-
Girls, we can
could
just go
start at
crazy.
6:30 for the workshop.
Joe won't be here, Dan won't be
I'll
here.
change our.
Sounds like they're gonna throw a
So
party.
I'm gonna put it on my calendar for March 5th. After the board meeting.
6:30 though.
What?
If we want Tracy here, she.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that,
It's just,
Well, we could go through.
We don't
I
need
would like to
Tracy.
have Tracy
Oh,
here.
Tracy.
if
yeah, I
he's-
mean, I can come, I just.
I can do
can't be here till
6:30.
6:40.
So on
So-
town board meetings, we
Weather
start going through
permitting.
the agenda, and then when she gets here, we can skip right to that, go through that, and if we have any unfinished business with the agenda, we
Well,
can
does
just finish
your
the
meeting
agenda.
start at 6?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah.
your meeting and
We
then
can just
go
put
into
that-
that and.
So
Where's
there's
that?
emergency relief stuff in here, I see. I mean, is that something we need to think about?
Oh, yeah, they even talked about like the fire department,
Yeah,
fire and flood, future
Yeah, those are the three.
pumps, they talked
categories.
about, they talked about generators and pumps and all kinds of different infrastructure.
Do they have a generator here?
What page do you want there, Pat?
In fact,
111.
this is also
I'm
a,
left-handed,
and
so I
what
read
section?
backwards.
an emergency shelter.
In the big one that you gave us, it just said other, I'm just at the
Both heating and cooling.
water,
Yeah.
sewer.
So
Yeah.
that's what Jen and I were talking about, an emergency structure.
Temporary.
If we were to put a building up out here, a large pole barn, that could be used for different events, such as whatever,
Right here,
a farmer's market or whatever, cold
Temporary,
storage for trucks. It would have a multi-use,
temporary emergency housing.
Yeah.
and also emergency housing, like if there was an event at the school or whatever.
We had, we have,
And I was just looking.
emergency
Yeah.
equipment
These
upstairs.
are like there's.
Hey,
We have cots, we have blankets, we have pillows.
Right.
Debris
That
removal.
doesn't mean you can put 400 people in.
Debris removal is on here too.
Really?
We kinda lost control of this
Did I ever
meeting.
clean the water?
We can't hear anything out here, we have no idea what's going on, there's too much.
So anyway, like I was saying, we could use it for that too, cause it's in there.
What?
Well, I know it wasn't suggested, but in there is this debris removal as well. We have cleanup, that's debris removal.
But is debris removal because of a storm, you know what I mean?
I don't know, it doesn't specify.
Yeah.
All it says is debris removal, that's all it says.
It depends, if it's in the category with natural disaster or disaster relief, then
Sure.
yeah, that's what it's for, it's not spring cleanup. I'm just guessing, I don't know.
No, I get it, I get it.
It's emergency relief only.
We also might wanna review our emergency plan and see that we've got proper parts and pieces in place.
Dan, what about our comprehensive?
I was just gonna ask that, you read
Cause
my mind.
we
So-
haven't done that,
Right.
and if we pay for it with this, we can get reimbursed, right?
What Dave was saying is, you can, you know, where I think
I
we're gonna
really
do,
think that's probably one of the most important things, should be on the top of our list.
I think water's more important, but they both are very important. I think both of them would be
If
probably.
you get the money back, if you have enough money for water, if that's what we agree on, great. But to start the comprehensive plan and be able to get that money back,
So what Dave was saying the other day is, through the shared services program, we would probably make out better. But it's something that needs to be done. We need a comp plan. We need a finished comp plan.
Well, I was talking about that tonight with a gentleman from another town. So they just ran through their.
do they already have one though? And they just
One.
up after?
You don't?
It's in editing phase, we do.
We don't have one, really.
No,
No, we've never adopted one.
no.
It's ready to go.
Does anybody else have anything?
Oh, sir.
We'll read up on this and get educated.
Yeah. We got enough reading, one more.
Yeah.
We got, and there's enough, website references in there, okay, if you need additional enlightenment.
That's what I'm.
So to keep printing that for your meeting.
What's that?
Thanks.
Yes.
You want a tournament and I'll hand it back out?
No, I gotta, this is
Oh,
gonna take me
yeah,
2
we
weeks
all
to
gotta
read.
Take a look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
A lot of paper wasted on this deal, huh?
What's your youngest?
I don't wanna keep
Joe?
doing it.
My youngest is 4.
Oh, take it in, read it to him, and you can sleep.
It's bedtime story.
4, 5, and 10.
Okay. Is there anything else? Chris, you got anything? This next couple of weeks, we'll have to get as educated as we can on this.
You can write.
It's too bad Dave couldn't come to a meeting.
I'm thinking about all the stuff we talked about the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He's up on it.
I know he
He's
is.
like, been
Dave
studying.
Trainer.
He's up on this.
Yeah.
Is that something he can come to help us?
I don't know. He might be able to. He,
I think Peggy's researching.
my God.
Oh, God.
Hey, nothing.
I was
wrong
in
with
a
that.
webinar and she kept popping up.
Did she? She does
Yeah,
even
especially on the
think
floor.
things down.
Yes, she
What's
does.
that?
Can't deny her that.
Mm.
Go ahead.
I think we have like a public sign-in, and I think there's people in front of me that might wanna make some comments, because New Haven said they wanted to hear from the public, so.
Yeah, what I said was I wanted to get public input, and I was thinking maybe about using our Facebook page or something like that. I didn't say there was gonna be a, public comment session
There's a
here tonight.
sign-in sheet
Oh, I
over here,
wasn't
sir.
sorry, I thought it was on the sheet.
That's all right.
I didn't know. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know.
Linda, you got something?
Well,
wanna talk?
for one thing, not everybody has Facebook.
Yeah, I know.
Most, I don't have it, and,
Yeah, not everybody reads the paper, not everybody has Facebook.
yeah, well, if it's Facebook, I won't be able to see it, but if it's on the website, I will see it.
And that's a question I have, is this gonna be on the website?
I just think,
Questions on Facebook and the website.
yeah, I just was wondering what the parameters were, and you've talked about a lot of those, and where do we find them? You said the Treasury Department is overseeing this?
Yeah, the email I got today is from the Treasury Department.
So maybe if I can ask and say, where are the documents that you guys are looking at? The public would like to see those documents, you guys are talking about some
We don't wanna print them though.
100-something page document.
Oh, we don't wanna
Some
print
of
them
us
out.
have read the actual ARPA funds recommendations from the state previously, like a couple of years prior. Some of you are just catching up, but some of us are already versed on that. So if
So-
we can see what you guys are looking at, then maybe we would have a better understanding of what you're trying to implement.
Can we can put a link to this, all this stuff on our page, right? On our town website? Yeah, we can put a link on the Facebook.
Can we
page.
have copies today, since this is like a public meeting?
Right.
That's a pretty giant waste of paper.
Yeah.
Can we get one of your copies and then you guys can view it email, since you guys have it PDF and we don't? Like, we're
Yeah,
here
so I
trying to
just
see
got
what's
this the other day
happening.
from the Association of Towns. I had to inquire about it. I'm just trying to think of a way that we could get this,
Put a link
Can
down.
you put the link on the website?
so this, under the quick links,
They're all the same website.
and then there's explainer videos.
I would just put it on the website for everyone to have it.
Yeah, click the link and here it is.
Instead of just one
I
person
think
here.
these quick links would probably be the most,
Yeah, put it on the website,
yeah, why don't we do that?
cause everybody can look at the website.
Yeah,
We've got-
click on it, and it'll have all this information right at the
Put it,
bottom.
yeah, why don't we do that? And also put on that we're looking for input from the public.
I have a question about, what if, you said that the money has to be obligated. What if you obligate to some reputable company and for some reason they back out at the last minute? Do you lose the money?
That's a great question.
Cause that would really suck, you know,
They
big
could get
company-
to sue somebody.
big companies go down. That would be horrible.
Well, that's
That's
why.
why I think,
You're showing due diligence and you're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
I
yeah.
don't think they're gonna yank it from you.
I
You're
think we're
trying to make an
case by
attempt to
case
do it,
basis.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, so also too, just piggybacking on some of what you guys have discussed, in reading second and third modifications of this, to my understanding, you cannot have recurring expenses. So you cannot obligate these funds to something that is going to, that you're gonna be obligated to continue to pay maintenance on. A baseball field,
They
a
suggest you
legion, there are also separate safety grants for schools and legislations, and the county legislature is taking those funds in, so maybe the town should seek those funds from the county legislature and not obligate our individual ARPA funds for that. The county is also looking into a water infrastructure within the county, and I don't think that the town of New Haven should pay for that. Also too, the bulk water rate usage contract has not been updated since 2016, since you guys talked about that. If the town of Scriba is now charging us more money for the water, that's on them. We signed the contract for them for this extra, it's not been updated since 2016. I foiled the documents, so I'm privy to this information. And how is the town of Scriba now charging us more money because they can't maintain what they obligated to do so in the first place? So when did we obligate ourselves to that? And we have a comprehensive plan that is most of the way done. I think, I'm glad you find this amusing, but we have a comprehensive plan that's 95% done, so why would we spend more money
These are taking
to do that? Thank you.
16, thank you.
Okay. Linda, did you have anything else?
Yeah, one thing that I think the money would be greatly spent on is lighting outside the hall here. It's very dark, and when you have to leave the building by yourself,
Oh, outside?
Yeah,
outside
I
in the
know.
parking
Yeah,
lot.
it's too dark out there.
And the
Maria
light,
mentioned that a while back.
well, the one light that shines, like shines in your face, so you can't see anything that's behind the cars.
It's a good suggestion.
Well, out at the entrance too. The light
Yeah.
out
Right.
there is terrible. You don't know where you're turning in.
And
I know,
Until
just-
you're there.
I'll ask Amanda Mazzoni about that, cause she contacted me about another grant that we'll talk about at the next board meeting.
That'd be cool.
So we're in conversations now about what could be spent. I'll get more information about that.
I think what it should be spent on is something that would benefit every single individual somehow,
I agree with that.
not
yeah, you put the rug
just
up
a,
from under.
not just a select
Right.
portion.
Absolutely.
He was hoping it could be
That's all.
taxes, but one of the
No.
first
But
things
she
he said.
mentioned you can't do
Yeah.
taxes, so.
Be nice.
And
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
even if
yeah.
it was taxes, I guess it doesn't benefit the children somewhat,
Right.
but I mean, it does that their parents don't have to spend as much, but
And there's gotta be, like you said, give money to the school for a recreation program on the, you know, that would be incurring costs, but if you gave them the money to do something and they did the incurring costs, that would be, might be a way around that. Like give them the money to start the program and let them take over.
Yeah, but if we do the program 1 year, it doesn't have to be that we have to do it every year, so it wouldn't be an incurring cost. It might be incentivizing the school that, and then they would do it the next year, if you help.
Well,
with
I'm
it.
saying if you buy the, like the equipment or whatever they would need to do it year after year and get them started, like you said, and, cause there's stuff that they would need, but yeah, stuff like that would be
Schools
good.
have a lot of stuff, so you kind of, you'd probably be partnering with them, which is good. There's nothing going on in town for the kids in the summer.
and then the only other thing that I'm curious about is after it's all done and over with and you have it committed, or you're
Obligated.
or you're in the process of directing where it's going to be obligated, is there approval needed by the public, or you can just make that decision? I'm just curious.
We can make that decision.
Okay, that's what I would know.
Looking at the calendar, okay, an approval by the public would be difficult with the timeframes we're dealing with.
It would be, yes.
I'm thinking if it got
And
up
I-
to where it was getting too late, then just spend it. Do something, like on, like,
I mean, one of the
On
things that was
something.
mentioned, okay, was, you know, some kind of recreation program in the town. And that has been done in the past. Okay, in fact, my daughter and one of her friends, when they were in high school, they babysat the, recreation program at New Haven Elementary.
It was done through the legislature did that, cause my sister was on it too. The county legislator provided the funds.
So, yeah, and, you know, you pay those individuals, okay, during the summer, okay, and they, you know, did 3 days a week or whatever it was, I can't really remember.
We went to Selkirk on Fridays.
Yeah. So, I mean, things like that have been done in the past, okay, but a lot of things, have changed, okay, because people are not as engaged as they used to. Drive around New Haven, how many kids you see outside playing,
That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
you know? I mean, I know my own grandchildren, they aren't in New Haven, but they're doing this all the time. In fact, my 11-year-old fixed the school's computer for him.
mhm.
Does anybody else have anything? Getting back to what you just said, Linda, I wanna have a well thought out, that's why I wanna start this early, have a well thought out, good plan, so we're not getting down to the wire and just having to spend it on something, to be able to say we didn't have to give it back. That's why I wanted to start this.
Yeah, cause you never know what's gonna come up.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. That we adjourn.
Yeah, that's the one.
Freshman,
Aye.
Crossett,
I
Bruno,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.